it can feel like a betrayal. When someone you trust, or even someone you barely know, reaches into your past and pulls out a moment of pain, a mistake, a vulnerability, and uses it as a weapon against you, it cuts deeper than you expect. In that moment, it feels like your peace has been stolen. Your chest tightens, your breathing changes, and your mind begins to race through old memories you thought were long buried. You feel the rise of anger, the instinct to fight back, to defend, to justify. You want to say, "That's not me anymore." You want to remind them of how far you've come. But here's the truth, when you react out of emotion, you hand them control. You let them write the next page of your story with their words instead of your calm. The Stoic stands in a different truth. They understand that your past does not belong to anyone else. It is not public property, and it is not a weapon to be wielded against you, unless you hand them the ammunition yourself. Your power lies not in erasing your past, but in redefining your relationship to it and in how you choose to respond. Because your past is not your prison, it is your proof. Proof that you lived, that you stumbled, that you learned. And no one can use what you've already accepted against you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That includes the event of someone trying to use your history to hurt you. The Stoic does not run from his past. He looks it in the eye and says, "Yes, that happened." He accepts what was, without self-hatred, without denial. So, if someone uses your past against you, here is what Stoic wisdom guides you to say. Not with bitterness. Not with pride. But with unshakable calm, the kind that confuses those who expect you to crumble. First, you can say, with quiet acceptance, "Yes, that happened." Do not deny it. Do not explain it away. By calmly acknowledging the truth of the past, you remove their weapon before they can swing it. You are saying, "This fact does not scare me. I have already made peace with it." You are disarming them by standing in truth. When someone points to your past hoping to create shame, your calm acknowledgement drains their attack of energy. Because shame only survives in the shadows, and you just turned on the light. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone is mistaken, instruct them kindly and show them their error. But if you cannot, blame yourself, or no one." The Stoic knows that everyone carries mistakes, just in different forms. The difference is that some people weaponize others' mistakes to hide from their own. By saying, "Yes, that happened," you show that the event is no longer your enemy. It is something you've accepted, studied, and transcended. And when you stand before your past without flinching, no one can use it to define you anymore. They expect guilt. They expect excuses. But you give them peace. And that peace makes their attack feel small. Second, you can say, with gentle but firm detachment, "And I have learned from it." These 5 words change everything. You take what they meant to be a wound and turn it into wisdom. You transform their attempt to humiliate you into a declaration of growth. You are saying, "Yes, I failed, but I learned. Yes, I was broken, but I rebuilt. Yes, I fell, but I rose." This statement reframes the entire conversation. They wanted to remind you of who you were, but you are reminding them, and yourself, of who you've become. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." What they see as a stain, you see as a lesson. You understand that pain was not punishment, it was training. You learned self-control. You learned humility. You learned empathy. You learned that mistakes are not final, they are formative. And you learned that every person who walks this earth carries a story that others cannot fully understand. The Stoic does not brag about perfection, they honor progress. They know that wisdom is not born in success, it's born in the fires of failure and reflection. So when you calmly say, "I have learned from it," you are no longer defending yourself. You are teaching a lesson. You are showing that the person speaking to you is still living in the past, while you have already moved beyond it. And that realization, that contrast, often silences the attack more effectively than anger ever could. Third, and this is the most powerful response of all, you can say, "Why are you bringing this up now?" Not as an accusation. Not as a challenge. But as a sincere question. This simple phrase turns the mirror back on them. It forces them to face their own motives. Are they trying to heal, or are they trying to harm? Are they seeking truth, or are they feeding their ego? When you ask that question calmly, the energy shifts instantly. You are no longer the target, you become the observer. And they are now the one exposed. Epictetus taught, when someone provokes you, remember that it is your opinion that they have harmed you. By asking, "Why are you bringing this up now?" you are stripping their power to provoke. You are showing that your peace cannot be stolen, it can only be surrendered, and you refuse to surrender it. Most people who use your past against you do so because they feel powerless in the present. They cling to the version of you that made them feel superior. They cannot handle the fact that you've grown beyond their reach. And so, they reach backward. But you live forward. You have evolved, and your calm question exposes their lack of evolution. You are not defending yourself anymore. You are simply observing their behavior and choosing not to participate in it. That is Stoic mastery, to see the storm, but not enter it. Beyond the words themselves, remember the Stoic principle behind them. Your self-worth is not determined by your past actions, nor by the opinions of others. It is measured by your integrity in this moment, by how you choose to stand, right now, in the face of judgment. A person who uses your past against you is revealing their own weakness. Their need to remind you of your old self only proves they have not yet met your new one. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Do not meet their bitterness with bitterness. Meet it with dignity. When someone drags your past into the light, do not hide. Stand there with calm eyes and say, "That was me. I learned. I grew. I moved forward." The storm outside you cannot shake the calm within you, unless you invite it in. Your peace is your fortress. And every time you refuse to be shaken, the walls of that fortress grow stronger. The truth is this, people will always have opinions. Some will admire your growth, others will resent it. Some will see your scars as symbols of strength, others as reminders of your flaws. But Stoicism teaches us that you decide what those scars mean. They are not signs of shame, they are signs of survival. Each one tells a story of how you endured, how you rebuilt, how you transformed pain into wisdom. So when someone uses your past against you, see it for what it is, a passing storm. You cannot control the storm, but you can control how you shelter your peace. You can choose to remain grounded while the wind of their judgment blows past you. Because you're calm, your silence is louder than any defense. It says, "I am no longer who I was, and I owe no explanation for who I've become." Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When others try to drag you back into old stories, do not suffer twice, once for what happened, and once for their opinion of it. So, stand firm in your growth. Speak your truth with quiet dignity. And remember, the most powerful response is often not to win the argument, but to show through your calm that their words cannot touch the core of who you are. Your past is a chapter you have already read and learned from. Do not let anyone force you to reread it aloud for their amusement. Close the book. Because your story is still being written, and this time, you are the author. Not your mistakes. Not their judgment. Not their reminders. But you. Your calm is your strength. Your peace is your proof. And your growth, that is your silent victory. Let them talk. Let them reach back. You are walking forward, untouchable, unshaken, and entirely free.